Hello everyone, welcome back to Higher Max. As you can see from the title of the video, today we will be talking about The Real Housewives of Durban Season 2, Episode 1. First of all, I don't know if I've not been keeping my ears to the ground or however that expression goes, but how did I not know that we were getting Season 2 this soon? And this kind of makes me sad because now that I think about it, does this mean like we're just never gonna get another season of Real Housewives of Johannesburg? Like, I heard there were some things that went down. I don't really know what happened. Please let me know down below because I need some RHOJ content. But before we continue on, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There is so much we need to discuss with the girls reuniting, Ngongku throwing another event, as well as her previous drama with Ayanda, Lassie, and her relationship status, and so much more. So let's get into this video. As we saw the title sequence, we saw that the ladies coming back with Ngongku, Annie, Sarisha, Lassie. New ladies are Londi, Jojo, and Tobile. So the first thing that went through my mind, I mean, I was listening to the taglines, whatever. The taglines were okay, I guess, but that's not really something that I was going to judge. The thing that I noticed, I was like, I had already heard that Ayanda was not returning, but I was like, really? We didn't even get to convince her a little bit, just a tad, to come back for season 2. Obviously, things ended a bit awkward last season, so we can't be too surprised with that. But I thought maybe she might surprise us. And as we can see from this first episode, she is a hot topic. Her, Ngongku, and the late Sifiso, and that whole very complex dynamic that we might get into a little bit later. Also, I noticed that there is no Mabusi. Does that mean, you know how she was a friend of? You know how like in other Real Housewife franchises, like when somebody starts off as a friend of, they eventually become like a housewife or whatever. So Mabusi not being here, does that mean that she's just gone, period? Like we're not going to see her again? I mean, obviously she's not going to be one of the housewives. She's not going to hold, I don't think, what's the symbol for Housewives of Durban? It's not, because Joburg, I believe, is a diamond. Anyways, or gold, because for the city of gold. Anyways, not important. Like, oh, does that mean like she's gone, we're not going to see her again? Because I also feel like she had an interesting storyline last season. Also, let me know down below if you want me to do a quick recap of everything that happened last season, and how that's going to affect, how I think that might affect how things are going to play this season. Start off the episode with Ngongku, who has started planning her event. As we know, this ma'am is nervous because the last time we went to one of her events, it did not go as planned. It was, you know, whatever could have gone wrong went wrong. And so the ladies were obviously coming ready to judge how things were going to go, because Miss Ngongku Williams, if there's one thing, she's going to put forward that she is that girl. And so when you are that girl, there's high expectations on the types of events you're going to throw. We see that at the beginning of the episode, she's talking to her party plan about all the things that she wants. She wants to be a spring theme, flowers, bright colors, mang. And towards the end at the end of the episode, we see how this event comes to fruition. But before we even get to there is a lot of conversations. Lassie and Sarisha are busy talking about the drama about last season, about events that they weren't invited to, who is South African, who isn't South African, why people were invited, why other people weren't invited. And then we see a lunch, a little kiki between Annie and Ngongku. They meet up. The theme I'm seeing throughout this episode, and you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, is I really, like, Annie was saying a lot of things in the confessionals, and I love a shady confessional. It really adds layers, especially when we get to the reunion. But I felt like a lot of things she was saying in the confessional, she wasn't saying in conversation. So I also never realized how close Annie and Ayanda are until, like, you know, she brings it up to Ngongku, like, I don't know how, I don't think what happened was appropriate, blah, blah, blah. And Miss Ngongku's like, no, we're not going to talk about that. She shuts it down real quick. And then Annie literally straight up says in the confessional, I don't like Ngongku. And so I guess we're going to see more of that awkward dynamic as this season progresses. We also see a lot of clips going back to the reunion, and Annie is like shading Lassie, saying, oh, I don't think she's in a relationship, the whole ring situation. I mean, I do think like at the reunion was a bit awkward when, by the way, I want to say this. I really like Lassie. Like, I don't know what it is about her. I like her vibes. I mean, you know, sometimes she can be a bit extra. Like when she first told them, you can Google me, you can look me up. That was a bit much. But I don't know, I like her. But back to it, Annie was like, no, that girl is not in a relationship anymore. She's single. Okay, so what do you know that we don't know? What's the word on the street? Because I don't know much. I don't know what, like, I don't know Durban tea. I don't know what goes on. Like, I don't even know if, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, certain places in certain cities where everybody's in everybody's business. So I'm wondering if it's one of those things, especially since Lassie was in a, spoiler alert, high profile relationship. We go to see Lassie. She talks about her weight loss journey and, you know, how she's feeling, how she's inspiring herself. She's inspired herself, which is, you know what, go on. If you are happy, if you are doing things for your body that you feel like are benefiting you in a positive way, then I have no reason but to support that. Then we get to finally meet one of our new housewives, Londi London, and she describes herself as a mother, a wife. Did she describe herself as a wife? I don't know if she describes herself as a wife. Let me not lie to you, because I saw all of that drama. But then she also said that to her husband. Because it wasn't drama, but her mom having that conversation with her about, you know, the gifting, the damage. Anyways, we'll get to that. Influencer, a musician, like, and she was explaining how she used to post a lot of racy pictures. That's how she got her kind of claim to fame and she rose up. And even later on, we find out that her and Annie have been friends for a while, even though there's also a shady component to that, I feel, because Annie was like, oh, that's my homegirl, even though Annie, you didn't invite her to your wedding. And then Londi is like, we're close, but we're not best friends, which I felt like was maybe some shady, meant we were alluding to something, so there's a bit of a cracks in the relationship. Anyways, and so we see her beautiful house, the life that she lives, and there is a conversation between Londi and her mother about the Membeso, the gifting ceremony, and her mom seems to be concerned about the dynamics. And then we get to, I think, one of the pivotal parts of this episode. Lassie and Annie meet up for lunch. The reason why I'm saying it's a pivotal part of the episode is because Annie throughout this episode has been talking about how she is not in a good place with Lassie, and so I don't know what I know what I expected. I thought there was going to be a bit of drama, confrontation, like Annie was going to serve it and give it to Lassie, because she was, this whole time she's been talking about how shady she is, and then even in the confessional, when Lassie was like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to do this, this, and this, and she was like, you're offering to do all these things, but you're not a wife. I was like, the reunion is going to be very interesting, guys. It's going to be very interesting, because I was like, that is cutthroat. But I don't know, like, you can let me know. I felt like Annie was backtracking a little bit, or I expected her to just talk about it a bit more, because she was like, oh, I just wanted to make sure that because we're going to be in the same spaces, I want us to feel comfortable. The whole time, low-key, I was under the expectation more that it wasn't a conversation about comfort, it was a conversation about, you did A, B, C, D, you are shady to me, and this is how I feel about you. Y'all can let me know. I was a bit confused about that. I was really expecting a bit more. And the thing is, even Lassie was confused. She was like, so what was the point of this? We came here to do what? Maybe this is just the first episode, so maybe as the weeks progress, they are going to get into the nitty-gritty and into the situation and the problems that they're having within their relationship. Then we get to meet Jojo, who's another one of our latest housewives. She is a friend of Tarisha. She is a housewife, a mother, living her best life. I mean, what I can say about both of the new housewives, I mean, all of the housewives they live soft life. But Jojo seems to be, she's like, I'm just gonna say that my job is an artiste. So we get to one of the main points of this episode, because we have been talking about this event that Miss Ngongku is hosting. And so also, you know how like there's always like a queen bee in each of the series? Is Ngongku this new queen bee? Who do you think is the queen bee of this season? Like, I wasn't sure, because Ngongku was also the first person that came up during the, whatchamacallit, when people are saying their tagline. So I was like, does this mean, because I felt like last season it was Ayanda who was like the queen bee, like the head of the group, unofficial head, not like she was leading or bossing people, but was that girl. So y'all can let me know if I'm the only one who felt that way or thought that. We get back to the main event, which is Ngongku's Spring is Sprung situation, getting all the girls together so that we can finally kiki. And it went smoother than I expected, but here's still a few things. Miss Ngongku, like, you know what, like, I felt bad for her because she was very nervous about throwing the event. But like as the ladies that said, I mean, I think it wasn't. I understand she probably was busy. You know that those things happen when you're hosting things. You get busy doing stuff, blah blah blah. You don't get to a guest. But I was like, so many of the guests had got in and they hadn't gotten to see her. I think the decorations were pretty, and the thing that killed me though is not the same bartender as the one that was at the last wine event. Not the same bartender. I was like, no. The one who was talking about red pepper, green pepper, mixed licorice. I was like, no. That one. One of the things that was also interesting to me was when Lassie was like, she's friends with Tobe, and Tobe told her that she was not interested in being in the mix with the ladies, blah blah blah. She was not interested in all of that, but here she is. So Lassie's like, I'm confused. What are you doing here? Ngongku arrives, and her mom was giving a very interesting speech. Like, you know what? I love moms. Moms always stand their kids, stand their daughters, etc., etc. But why? Like, I thought this was like a ladies' reunion thing. I didn't know that we were celebrating Ngongku, or it was like I guess I didn't really know what the context of the event was based off of the speech. I was there when Lassie was like, this is not the platform, because then she was saying that she's beautiful. I don't know who's not beautiful somewhere. It didn't read well. You know, I always have to leave room when it comes to reality TV shows. You know what? I always have to leave room that editing makes people come off in different ways. But from the confessionals, all the ladies seem to be in consensus that what was being said wasn't the time nor the place. They get to the point where people decide to start talking about Annie's wedding, how low-key nobody was invited. I guess apart from Sarisha, who else wasn't invited? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I didn't talk about the fact that, what was that lady's name? The lady who started a brand and she's married to a ex-rugby player. Oh man, what's her name? How could I forget? And oh my goodness. And I think she had lots of drama with Mabuzi. Was it Homotso? I forgot what her name was, but she's also not on the season. Anyways, back to it. How no one was invited to the wedding, and then, which was weird because I was like, okay, London is considered to be one of your close friends, but she wasn't invited. Is this because of COVID protocols? By the way, I love the clip of their wedding. Why was it giving very much festival, very much high end, very much high fashion? I love like when they were like by the columns. We get to this intimate conversation between the queen, so Ngongku's mom and Lassie. And Lassie's like, you know what? I've like in the confessions, like, I always knew that those two girlies were not on the same page. They were not homies. So, and people were coming at me when I said that, but that is my truth. I think that the relationship between Ayanda and Ngongku was always going to be very complex from the beginning, like how we even meet them on the show together. Awkward. I did not think things were going to go well. I don't think they had to be enemies or anything like that, but I just did not see things, because we don't know what has been discussed behind the camera, in front of the camera, but those kinds of situations are already very difficult to handle and to talk about behind closed doors. So adding in the media and people's opinions, I don't know, I did not see, I was kind of concerned from the beginning that would their relationship be healthy, and it looks like, you know, it was a turn for the worse. What are people's opinions on how this should be handled? All of us, what we have are just only opinions. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer on how this should be handled, because again, it is delicate. But what do you think should happen? Do you think it really is Ayanda's responsibility? Or, I mean, you know, like it's so confusing. I really it's not easy to be in this situation, and I empathize with everybody. Now, after that, we have a separate moment where Sarisha and Lassie meet up and they talk. And this is when Lassie breaks down and she talks about the fact that she never planned on being a single mother. It's definitely not easy, and not easy to do so on such a big platform. My only question is, do y'all think that this happened when she was saying that she was getting her ring cleaned, like it had already happened at the breakup, the separation or whatever? because maybe that had already happened, but you know, it was a tough time. It's not easy to talk about this. Sometimes it's not easy to grapple with the fact that you've broken up with someone, let alone on national TV. So what do we think? Do we think that their breakup had been... The person who seems certain about that is Annie. Anyways, we end the episode off there, but we see what's gonna happen next week. The ladies are going to get together. Somebody's sending out an invitation about some event, but you have to bring your husband. Awkward, not all the women have husbands. It's alluded that Lassie might have a man. So we're gonna see all of this, and hopefully it's going to be a juicy episode. I obviously will be making another review and try to get it out as soon as possible. So you should like, comment, and subscribe. I also put up reviews on TikTok as well. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. Let me know your opinions down below, and I'll be seeing you very soon with another video. Goodbye.